Some alarming statistics. More than 50% of frogs, toads, salamanders, and other amphibian species are at risk of extinction within the next 50 to 100 years. That's due to things like habitat loss, climate change, pollution, and disease. One of those affected species lives here in our own backyard. It's the boreal toad. Well, 3 weeks ago, Denver Zoo amphibian experts traveled to a remote area in southwestern Utah where they released more than 620 toads. What's interesting about those toads is they had been hatched and raised at the zoo and then taken to their native range. And with me now is Derek KUSA with the Denver Zoo, along with a couple of boreal toads. So talk about this project and what you were able to do with these toads to maybe help prevent extinction.
Sure. So in 2010, we brought a few individuals from southern Utah into what we call an assurance population, just to assure that we have them represented in case they do go extinct.
At the zoo?
At the zoo, correct. And this spring, we were able to successfully reproduce them and get them through into metamorphosis and re-release the tiny little toadlets to augment the wild population in the wild.
I want to ask you more about it, but let's take a look at these toads and tell us about them. What makes them unique? What is a boreal toad as opposed to a toad?
Sure. A boreal toad is unique mainly in the environment it inhabits. It's a high country dweller. It lives in the high country of Colorado, anywhere from 7,000 to up to 12,000 feet in elevation. And for an animal that doesn't produce any of its own body heat, is ectothermic, that's a pretty extreme environment for them to live in.
How long do they live? How old are these two? Do we know?
I don't really know right offhand, but they can live anywhere from 20 plus years in captivity.
Okay. So we are trying to prevent extinction by helping them breed and then taking them back to places where they have struggled to live now?
Yes, exactly. They are unfortunately not exempt from the global amphibian crisis that we're experiencing right now, and there's a pathogenic fungus that's decimating frog and amphibian populations, and so like I said, we try to captively reproduce them and reintroduce individuals to augment that wild population to help them weather the storm.
We don't want to lose any species, but we do talk about how much we need bees and other critters that roam our earth. Do we need toads? Do we need amphibians? Are they a big part of the whole ecosystem of the earth?
Yes, absolutely. All ecosystems and food webs are so dynamic and so interdependent upon each other. Every organism has a specified niche that it fills, and if that niche goes unfilled, it can have disastrous effects through the entire system.
This program, it sounds like it's been a huge success. Like you've done something that's pretty difficult and made it work.
Yes, yeah, we've been trying for many years. This year we did change some of our husbandry and hibernation protocols, and we had a reproduction specialist, Dr. Annika Maresco, administer some therapeutic hormone therapies, and we had success for the first time this year.
These are some of the tadpoles as they were here at the zoo before they were taken back to Utah, right?
Yes, we raised them up in aquaria and got them, like I said, all the way through metamorphosis and re-released fully equipped little toads, and I just heard from one of the biologists in Utah they found some of the ones that we released on subsequent surveys, so we know that they're surviving and doing well.
People fall in love with certain animals. People love the elephants. People like the lions and tigers. The toads, the toads have a tougher time of it, don't they? They're not exactly like people go, oh my goodness, let's save the toads.
Yeah, it's true. The amphibians and the reptiles sometimes don't get as much cuddly or, snuggly affection, but they're just as important in any ecosystem. And it's important for people to realize that when they visit their AZA zoos that they actually are supporting a lot of the conservation they might not know is going on behind the scenes.
Well done, Derek. It's good to have you by.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have someone visit from the Denver Zoo and bring us a couple of boreal toads, and hopefully they continue to thrive here at these elevations. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Thanks.